Hello, and I am Dennis Neal in with Diane Diamond today. And now a very special guest, Dinesh D'Souza, the troublemaker. He is an Obama enemy, author and filmmaker, and he joins us to discuss his upcoming film, America. Dinesh, thanks for being with us. Now, you had this Obama bashing film that came out a year or two ago, and you just told me it placed #2 all-time on political documentaries, beating every Michael Moore film except Fahrenheit 4, whatever it was. Now, that film kind of got you arrested on some kind of election charges or something at some point. I thought it was kind of Obama folks going after you. Why would you dare try to make another film?
Because I was only just getting started, and you know, on the one hand, it was an Obama bashing film, but it was very different than Michael Moore. I mean, what Michael Moore does in his films is he wakes you up when you're asleep, or he jumps on you, or he doesn't let you talk. He's a bully. In my film, on the other hand, what we did was we got some of Obama's audio reading his book, and he co-narrated. So some of the most damaging in that film came right from Obama, and a good bit of the rest of it came from his family. So we were able to raise the curtain on him on that one. But look, in this film, we bring the argument home to America. It goes beyond Obama and Hillary. It encompasses the whole progressive movement that has been conducting a kind of long march through the institutions of education and Hollywood and media. So we're blowing the whistle on this whole menagerie and showing people how they can be informed about it and how they can fight back against it.
You know, Dinesh, I do an awful lot of writing myself, and I have noticed the phrase coming through the lexicon these days about the low information voter. The general election, the midterm elections are coming up. Do you have hope that people are going to see your movies, really understand, and the electorate will change?
Yeah. Now, certainly, I believe that this election, this midterm election, will not be driven by the low information voter, but by the highly motivated voter. In other words, by the guy who really takes the trouble to be informed and then get out there and vote. Lincoln once said that America is ruled by public opinion, but he didn't mean that it was ruled by the opinions of the public, because the public is in a sense detached, uninvolved. Lincoln's point was that there's a smaller group of people, it may today number just a couple of 100,000, who are hands-on in some way in politics. They're delegates, or they're bloggers, or like you and me, they're commentators, and it is this small group that really sets the goalposts of American politics. So what I'm hoping to do with my book is kind of it's the intellectual spine of the film, and the film opens July 2nd nationwide. I'm hoping to give people a sort of Swiss Army knife, if you will, of ideas so they can be really effective in taking on the progressive team.
It seems to me that the idea of a film that you want to do has contradictory purposes. On one hand, what you ideally would want is to convince all the people who don't agree with you that your view is right. On the other hand, if you want to make a lot of money on your film, you need to appeal to the people who already think that you are right. Those are the ones who would go see your film.
But those two purposes are very closely connected, because the way for the film to succeed, if conservatives and Republicans rush out and see the film a couple times in the opening week or the opening couple of weeks, that will actually give constipation and nightmares to the people in Hollywood. The film is opening in 1,000 theaters, but it'll go to 2,000 or 3,000 theaters, and that's how the ordinary guy who's not that political is going to say, hey, I hear everyone's talking about this film, I better go see it. So the way we reach the middle guy, or even the left, now I put the left in the film. There are hardcore leftists railing against America in this movie, and that's what I meant. Unlike Michael Moore, I let the other side speak, and then I take on their arguments.
Yeah, see, that's so important instead of all the doctrinaire messages. We have a clip from your film, America. Let's roll that.
We're living in the American era, but this moment of American triumph is very fragile. How badly we need right now a Washington, a Lincoln, a Reagan. Well, we don't have them, but we do have us.
If you would just go ahead and expound on what the overall point of view is. I mean, who's the bad guy in your film?
Well, our film has a menagerie of bad guys. We have Obama and Hillary, we have Elizabeth Warren, and then we have many of the vehement activists on the left and thinkers. Noam Chomsky, for example, the longtime leftist. Bill Ayers is in the film. So I was able to get these guys to come on camera and talk to me.
Why would they do that?
Why would they do that?
Well, because I can, when I called Bill Ayers, I said, Bill, look, you've been hiding, you have powerful ideas, but, don't you have the guts to stand up and talk about them? He's like, well, Dinesh, I don't want you to make me look like a clown. And I said, well, I won't make you look like a clown if you're not, in fact, a clown. So we finally hit upon a compromise. We agreed to do a public debate at Dartmouth, and we brought our film guys and filmed it. So this is a way in which I reach out to the other side, and I'm able to convince them that I'm going to let them have their say.
Well, I'm so glad that this film's coming out right now, because I'm getting ready to make a speech in defense of capitalism tomorrow, in fact, at the TEDx Fulton Street event here in New York. And it seems like there is such an outraged brigade of intolerant liberals who want to shout down every opposing idea now. And when I was growing up in the 70s, 80s, it was that the conservatives were the ones who were intolerant and shutting down other opinion, and the liberals were saying live and let live. When did the left become so strident and shrill?
Good question.
Well, I think that the truth of the matter is that the left never really believed in free speech. They believed in free speech for them, but their goal from the beginning was to take over these institutions of elementary and secondary education, of higher education, and it's far worse than shouting people down, because that's something that's kind of out in the open. What the left is really doing is practicing in the curriculum and in the classroom what I call the shaming of America, a systematic, one-sided picture of American history that is highly doctored to serve progressive political goals.
Dinesh, in 30 seconds, what about Hillary? What about her? She's got this soft opening for her book. She's in People magazine. She looks all grandmotherly. She's going to run, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have to realize that Hillary and Obama are both disciples of Alinsky, and the core principle of Alinsky is deception. You've got to make yourself look like something you're not. Alinsky says very explicitly, pursue power, but make it look like you're motivated by altruism and morality. So I think we see both with Obama and Hillary that they have mastered a way of presenting themselves that makes people think that they are completely different than they actually are.
Yes, and I'll bet your film is going to try to take a few steps toward kind of lifting the veil off of that. Thanks so much for being with us, Dinesh D'Souza, the troublemaker. A very nicely done job, sir. Good day.
Thank you.
Okay.